Steve, you say that both Premier David Eby and the Attorney General have failed your constituents. How so?
Well, the constituents weren't made aware of the Cowichan case litigation until recently, until the decision came down in August. And I believe that was August the 7th. And a lot of constituents still didn't know about it, even after the decision came down. They didn't realize the decision had really come down until the city of Richmond held a town hall meeting, and they sent out letters to my constituents that are affected by this decision.
Now, in May of 2017, lawyers for the Cowichan Nation, the Federal Crown, BC, and Richmond spent about 2 days in the courtroom debating the merits of notifying more than 100 Richmond landowners about the legal battle that would see a judge grant Aboriginal title over their land 8 years later. Now, the Federal Crown argued that private property owners needed to be there, but a lawyer for the Cowichan Nation said giving formal notice was unnecessary, inappropriate, and unwarranted. And the lawyer, David Rosenberg, says they didn't want to really argue about settlers' interests versus First Nations interests. They wanted to discuss what the Crown did wrong. So, Steve, where was the ball dropped here?
Well, if you speak to the affected constituents, they are saying that they should have been told about the litigation a long time ago. So the trial started about 6 years ago in September 2019, and no notice was given to the affected private property owners. So notice should have been given. And although the provincial government is blaming the courts right now, saying that the reason why they didn't give notice was because the court said that private property would not be affected. But there was nothing actually stopping the provincial government from serving informal letters on the constituents, just letting them know what was going on, this case was happening. And they never did that. And interesting point is the Premier's office had somebody going around, a senior aide going around my constituency in the affected area, handing out letters at this point. And litigation is still continuing. As you may know, appeals have been filed for the case to be heard at the Court of Appeal of BC. So litigation is continuing, but the provincial government has no concern right now to serving informal letters. So if there's no concern right now, those informal letters could have been served 6 years ago. So the logic of this government on blaming the judiciary, this government should actually know better.
Steve, BC Supreme Court Justice Barbara Young declared the coexistence of Aboriginal title alongside the private property title known as fee simple on land owned by about 125 Richmond residents in your constituency. She says Cowichan Nation have not made a land claim for the return of the private land, so the property rights of the private landowners are not undermined. So what do you think this will mean moving forward?
The fact of the matter is this decision put out a declaration there that, the Cowichan do have title to that area. The issue of whether the Cowichan wants to go after private land and they don't want to go after that private land right now, that's a separate issue. What if they change their mind in the future? What this decision has done, it's set a precedent. It's set a precedent where once you have title to a certain land, you have certain remedies. You may not want to exercise those remedies right now, but what's stopping a party from exercising their remedies in the future if they decide to do so? So that is the fear, that is the concern for private property owners in the affected area in my constituency.
Steve Cooner, BC MLA for Richmond, Queensborough, and official opposition critic for the Attorney General. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.